in this example, I want to look at how I'd go about setting up DynamoDB on my local machine. So I did a Google search to get to this location, and the Google search was DynamoDB Local install. And when I do that Google search, it tells me how I can deploy locally on my computer. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. DynamoDB on your local computer is a Java application. So you're going to need the Java runtime environment. So it does require the JRE. And depending on which version of DynamoDB that you're running, so I think DynamoDB up to 2.2 will require kind of an older version of Java. And then with 2 and beyond, then you're going to need a newer version of Java. And if I click on this, so you'll notice that starting January 25th, the old DynamoDB versions will not be compatible. Okay, so you're going to need the Java runtime environment, and hopefully you can get kind of the latest and greatest Java runtime environment installed. In order to do that, I'd recommend that you go to OpenJDK, so openlogic.com, and then you can download it here, and that would be based on what Java version you want. So their latest version is Java 21, what operating system, what architecture, 64-bit or 32-bit, and then do you want the development kit or just the runtime environment, and then you can pick the download. Okay, so depending on what environment you're working in. So you're able to download Java and get that installed as a prerequisite to deploying DynamoDB locally. Okay, so when you deploy DynamoDB locally on your computer, what you're first going to do is you're going to download either the zip or the tarball. If you're a Windows user, you download the zip file. Mac user can also download the zip file, or if you're a Linux user, you download the tarball file. You're going to extract that. So on my computer, I've already done this. I've downloaded the zip file and I've extracted that zip file to a folder called DynamoDB _local _latest. Okay, so all I'm doing, I'll kind of walk through this process. I'm going to go ahead and save this to my desktop. So I'm just saving that on my desktop. And you'll notice that it's one. I have an older version here. So I'll call this the new version here. Okay, so that's on my desktop. And then if I go over to my desktop, I can extract this. So I'm just going to go ahead and double click on it. And then you'll notice I have this folder that contains my Java application. Okay, I've already done that process, so I've gone through that process, so I don't need to do it again. I have it in my Documents folder under a Development folder, and then AWS, and then you'll see that I have this DynamoDB Local Latest folder here that contains those Java files that we're talking about. Okay, I have an additional start.sh file, and I'll talk about that in a second, but the rest of it should be exactly the same as what we've downloaded. I've also if I jump over to my terminal window, I've changed my current working directory to match that Documents, Development, AWS, DynamoDB _local _latest folder. From there, once I've extracted it and I have the prerequisite Java install, I have to start DynamoDB. So if I want to start DynamoDB, there's a Java command that I can issue to start DynamoDB. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy that Java command. And I'm going to jump back over to my terminal window. And what it's going to look like, so I'm just pasting in that Java command and hitting enter. What it's going to look like is it's going to give me a confirmation saying DynamoDB local with the latest configuration. Tells me it has a port of 8000. It tells me that it's running. And so I have DynamoDB local running locally. I need to keep this terminal window open in the background because it's running essentially as a process. Okay, I can go ahead and stop it by hitting Control C. Okay, so now it's stopped. If you remember, I said that I had that start.sh file. And if I look at that start.sh file, you can kind of see over here that it's just that same Java command, but I've pasted that Java command into a shell script so I don't have to remember the Java command. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to use that command to start up DynamoDB. So I know that this is my startup script. Okay, and that also will start DynamoDB. Okay, as long as I have DynamoDB running, I can go out to my terminal and I can open a new tab. Okay, so here's my new tab. Okay, I can clear that, and because DynamoDB is running in the background, I can start to issue commands. Okay, so I can issue a command, and let me blow up the font on this. I can issue a command like AWS. I'm working with DynamoDB, and what I want to do is I want to list all of the tables. And if I run the list tables command right now, I think it will fail. I'm not positive of that, but I think it'll fail on my computer right now. Okay, so eventually I get that the security tokens included with the request is invalid. So when I run this command, AWS, against the DynamoDB service, and I say go ahead and list the tables, what I'm really saying is go out to the cloud, look at DynamoDB, and list the tables. Well, in this case, I don't want to do that. I actually want to list the tables that are running on my local machine. I want to see the DynamoDB tables that are running on my local instance. Okay, so I have to add an additional parameter to that command that I just issued, which was AWS space DynamoDB space list tables, and the additional command that I have to pass is the endpoint URL. Okay, so this essentially is a parameter identified by the two dashes at the front of it, and the endpoint URL that I want to use is localhost 8000. So it's going to be HTTP localhost 8000. And if I run that command now you'll notice that I am getting table names. So baseball stats, bookstore, dynasty, FF. Okay, so those are the tables that I have on my local machine. Okay, just so you can see that command a little bit better, one thing that I can do is I can actually use a line continuation character. So if I want to line continue this, I can use a backslash. And I have something wrong with that. I want a line continuation character, so I think I can just use AWS DynamoDB list tables. I want to do a line continuation, and because I don't know why it didn't work across the fact that I hit the up arrow, but I can then pass in additional parameters like the endpoint URL being against my local machine, localhost 8000. Okay, and it shows me my tables on my local machine. If I go back over to my other tab and I stop DynamoDB, so I hit Control C and I stop DynamoDB, so DynamoDB is no longer running, and I try to issue that same command to list the tables, I'm not able to list the tables because I don't have a DynamoDB instance, and it tells me I could not connect to the endpoint URL localhost 8000. Now, if I wanted to connect to the actual cloud, so I wanted to connect to AWS, and I wanted to look at US East 1 or US East 2 or US West 1 or US West 2. I wanted to look at the tables that are actually in the cloud. I'd have to run the command that has to do with the AWS CLI, and that is AWS configure. Okay, this comes from the AWS CLI, so the AWS CLI, and then I'm going to configure it, and it asks me 4 questions. What's my access key, my secret access key, what's the default region, and the default output format. Okay, so those are the 4 questions that it's going to ask. And what happened is this access key and secret access key, I've deleted that access key. So in order to have this actually work against US East 2, I'd have to go create an IAM account or an IAM key value pair, access key and secret access key, that would be valid, that would allow me to then connect to DynamoDB and list those tables. But for this example, I just want to work against my local instance. Okay, so a couple of things going on here, and I just kind of want to give you some background about what all those things are. So in order for DynamoDB to run locally, we need to have Java installed. Okay, and I just blew up the font there, and now we've cleared off the screen. I blew up the font so we can see it a little better. The first prerequisite is I need to have the Java runtime environment. I typically will download the JDK, but the JDK comes with the Java runtime environment, so I need that as a prerequisite. And then as we're working with it locally, if I'm going to run DynamoDB locally, I can do that. So that's not a problem. That starts up with that Java command. However, if I actually want to work with that local instance of DynamoDB, then I'm going to need the AWS CLI in order to work with DynamoDB. Okay, so the AWS CLI allows me to work with DynamoDB. Okay, and the AWS CLI you can download. In order for that to work, we're going to have to run this AWS configure command. Okay, with an access key and a secret access key. But let's say you didn't have an access key and a secret access key, so you didn't go out to AWS and inside of IAM create that access key and secret access key. No matter what you do, if you want to work with DynamoDB locally, you have to at least have a dummy access key and a dummy secret access key. Okay, they don't have to be valid credentials, but there has to be some credentials filled in for the access key and the secret access key. And that's even if I'm not connecting out to the cloud, I still need at least a placeholder access key and secret access key in order to access DynamoDB on my local computer. Okay, so that's the prerequisites that I have to actually running DynamoDB locally and then using the AWS CLI to then access that local instance. Okay, and then once we have confirmed that we have all those prerequisites met, then we can go back and we can start to write some of the commands against DynamoDB. So the first one being, can I list the tables? Okay, so I'm trying to list the tables in my DynamoDB instance, and I'm doing that against my local computer. The endpoint URL is pointing to my local computer, local host. That's my local computer on port 8000, and that's where my DynamoDB local instance is actually running. So I'm connecting to that local instance and seeing the tables that are available, and you'll see that I have a few tables that are here. Okay, so I've already created some tables. If you don't have tables, if this is the first time you're running the command, what's going to happen is you're going to see an empty array here. Okay, so your table names will just show. So you'll have an object, it'll have table names as an attribute, and the table names will just be an empty array. Okay, so this is JSON data that we're seeing as the result of this list tables command. Okay, so that's how you're going to install and configure DynamoDB on your local machine.